Welcome back. You're now tuned into the other side of sports. I'm your host, Laws in the building. Got my man Ern. We back rocking out. Got a lot of stuff on tap today. We're gonna get into it. For starters, though, it's not really a question, it's an observation. So last week we talked a little bit about this post here. And it was saying in the new season, everyone needs to worry about self. What the next person does is of no concern because your own life is out of order. None has to be accountable to you. God is the author and finisher of our fate, which I corrected because that's erroneous. And folks need to get their own effed up lives in shape before worrying about someone else. Aaron, 2 days later, Bronny James, LeBron James's son, was out here going to prom with this young lady. And at the top, same poster as the first post, Zuri definitely thinking what we all are thinking. Okay. Then it was this. LeBron James' son attended a prom as well. Social media users aren't too happy about the date. What are your thoughts? It basically says that he's raised by a black mom and this is how he repays her. But then it says like, never mind. Like basically like, Aaron, I thought we were supposed to just worry about ourselves, Aaron.
Got him! Got him!
She meant you and me, men. She meant males. She didn't mean women. That's what I said. It's always about absolving women of any criticism, not men. That's what it's always been about for them. And that's why you see such that vitriolic reaction to certain people and certain things taking place in the male space now. They hate it so much because now they're entering the realm of being able to be criticized. They had nothing to do with minding your business in general going forward or anything like that, any new seasons. Yeah, they full of it. You knew it when you saw that post.
Can Bronny James live though? He a kid. He a young boy. He just out here floating, trying to find his way.
In a space you'd never be in. So it amazes me how sometimes people be in the bottom of the barrel trying to tell people who live in a completely different space than they live in spaces they dream about being in, like how they should navigate those spaces. It's just, I find it interesting.
Oh,
He's a kid. He's grown ass
he's a
40-year-old women.
kid.
And he's a kid.
Ronnie, dog. We know why there was a problem with this. Because the young lady is white. She's of Caucasian descent. And LeBron James is black. Is there a problem with that?
I don't know if problem is the right word. It's a problem for
Okay.
them. It's a problem for them because they feel like they never get chosen. But they don't. I mean, it all boils back into this same conversation about them being held accountable for decisions they make, how they present themselves, how they carry themselves. And they're constantly like, they want to do it their way. And then when they don't get chosen, they blame it on race or their skin color or their hair and all these other excuses to kind of alleviate themselves from being responsible for how they present themselves or how desirable they are to the male species. So that's what it always comes back to. And this is just a way for them to say, see, you know what I mean? But if you go to the school that he goes to, let's say the population is 2,000. How many, let's say half men, half women, or half boys, half girls.
Okay.
1,000 girls. How many of those 1,000 girls are black?
At the school that he goes to, probably
At the school that he
private.
goes to.
Probably private, probably in
Expensive as hell to
Calabasas,
go to.
LA somewhere. He ain't living in Cleveland. He out LA somewhere. This joint is probably tuition probably like 25 G's
Hell no.
a semester.
No. In Annapolis, at the joint I play ball at, Key, that's $47,000 a year.
Oh yeah.
So
So you
you no, so you might as well go ahead and up that. It costs a lot of money to separate from niggas out west. So
so you saying 150K
it's up there.
minimum?
It's up there.
Okay, it's a okay. Yeah,
So out of that
I say
1,000, how many girls is black? Seniors.
maybe 6, maybe 10, 20,
From a percentage standpoint, you say what,
maybe like
5%?
yeah, probably
The black
5%.
population in America is 13% roughly. So if you want to take it up to those numbers, the percentage of black students there would be much less. Let's
Hmm.
say let's give it half. Let's say 6%. Cut that in
Hmm.
half for males and females. We're talking about 3% of the population is females, right? So
Hmm.
you're saying because he's black, even though he
He
probably
just
has a higher status than anybody in that school, he got to choose from the 3% instead of just saying
he just
I'm the goat in this joint. Who's the baddest youngin in the school? You know what I mean? Like that's the pressure we put on young dudes that we don't
regardless of
put on
race or
women.
anything,
Yeah,
who the baddest Joe in here? That's
right.
who gonna need the
He
ball.
gotta choose from the 3% because it's gonna help your 40-year-old ass sleep at night.
You a bum.
No, he
And
not
it's the
choosing for
pressure
the
that they
3%.
put on us that they don't put on themselves. Because when you see Eve or any of these other Serena, they celebrate it when they go and say, you know what, I'm not getting what I'm looking for in my space. Let me go open up my options. They celebrate it.
You
Yes,
go, girl.
with 10 S's on the end of all this other stuff, right? They full of it, though. That's why
No, why?
I don't even get bent out of shape no more when this kind of stuff comes up because they're full of it, and we all know it. Social media has put it on display, though. They full of it.
No,
He's a
is it?
kid. Leave him alone. Dr. Umar get him. You know what I mean? He go put the little snow bunny
He gonna
crisis
pop
joint
up.
up.
He gonna pause. Yeah, he gonna put the snow buddy crisis up for y'all. He gonna help y'all. Don't worry. Just relax. You don't have to get up in arms, dog.
It's a kid, dog. Like leave the little nigga alone. Some gotta be off limits.
Some gotta be. Y'all, they tagging the children.
So let's transition to an adult. RG3,
Okay.
if you don't shut your coon ass up, you got a pattern.
It only takes a little bit of white brainwash to activate the coon chip.
Like, don't be. This the one thing you
Oh
chime in
yeah.
on in the community, in society. This the one thing you feel obligated to speak up on. Like, stop. Just stop it. Because you see, it's different when Obama only date white girls. That make you a coon. I'm saying if you open up your options, you date the best of the best, whatever it is, black, you know what I mean, white, Latin, Middle East, and whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really say too much. But when you only want to date the Caucasians, the snow bunnies, and then you want to be the one to speak up on this when you ain't speak up on any of the other stuff going on, like,
Coon
stop.
chip activated.
And your white joint was weak, like trash. Trash. That makes you instant coon, dog. So enough.
No, we need it. One day we need to just do the show just on the coon chips alone, dog. Because
Yeah, we're gonna do a
it's a
coon chip
lot. It's a
episode.
lot. We're just gonna do a coon chip show and talk about the coon chips that is just activated. Every black person in America has a coon chip, man and woman. It's just if it's activated or not, dog. All right. Yeah, RG3, you wildin', bro. You got to fall
If your
back. You
preference
got
is
to.
white, you a coon. But it's okay for it to be an option, but if that's your preference and you black, you a coon. That's how I feel about it. If you don't like it, I'm easy to find. If it's over 80 degrees, meet me down Georgetown. I'll be there on the waterfront.
Duh. Hey, speaking of hand service, though, did you hear about this dude, Brandon Langley, ex-cornerback for the Denver Broncos, though?
I
Hold
hear
on,
about him, but
bro.
I saw him pieced up.
Hold on, hold on. Watch this.
He needs some milk.
Right, you want some more? He wants more. You need it, right? You want more? You want more? You want more? If somebody don't grab him, he goes out of here. Get him. I'm not the one. He works at the airport and he assaults him. I don't care what you're talking about.
Oh, he put my man on the baggage claim conveyor belt. Slumped my man back.
Keep
What
your
was
white
he
ass
trying
hands to yourself. Keep your white ass hands to yourself.
Yo, why did he try? First of all, he slapped him.
He slapped him.
That's
Like
Yo, he could have really, he finished him, but he really could have glassed him if he really wanted to. Because when the Batman came back, he was off the wobbly
he was like,
wobbly,
he wants
dog.
more. Somebody better get him.
Son, he should, dog. But the thing is, this is what the video like. The Batman who's Brendan Langley, right? He jaw held back. Cause sometimes, dog, D ain't on the show right now, but D, when that Batman see red and that the switch flip, dog, it's not over until you sleep. It's just not like some Batmans, if they get the swing in the hands and the arsenal come out of the hands, it's not stopping until you're completely at rest. Or somebody grab and like hold you back and be like, young, chill. And then he might throw one at you just by accident, dog. I'm just saying. The Bama was very poised because he took the slap and he was like, you see this?
He couldn't believe it. Like he couldn't
believe it. And you see when Bama's react like that too, that's the tall tale sign that he know he can finish him. Cause he wasn't like eager to finish him. He was like, it's like, dog, y'all see him slap me?
He wanted to get it on wax first. Like, y'all see this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where the cameras at? It's cameras. Oh, you got me. Let's get her.
Dog, but the sad thing is, you got to do that. You got to do that.
They getting unruly. Because, like, being in the airport gives white people the same security of being in a car. You know how, like, if you in a car and you, like, might cut off one of them or do something, they'd curse you out, like, be yelling through the window and all this stuff. But if you was to do it in person, like, you just step on their shoe or bump them, they'll look, but they're not going to say nothing or get unruly because they think, you know what I mean? They know something can happen to him. So he in the airport, he like, it's no way this dude going to touch me no matter what I do. He learned. He won't do it again.
No, I should have gave a disclaimer, dog. That joint, he hit my man with the quick $5 foot long 2-piece chicken meal jump. Just yeah.
Your white ass hands to yourself.
Folded them back on the belt. The badge came. He like he ain't get checked in.
You see, he had that blood running out one of them eyes when he got up.
No, when he got up, the Bama was on tilt. He was like, I don't even know why he walked. It was pride in his heart. They caused him to walk back over there because he really ain't want no more wreck. He ain't want no more action. He really didn't.
That always happens though. You notice like when the Bama get knocked out or slapped up or whatever, he take the L. He get up and go back towards the situation, waiting for somebody to hopefully break the joint up or kind of separate him to make it look like he ain't throwing the towel. But the towel was thrown in because he got up groggy. Anytime a Bama feet go above your head when you laid out, it's over. He's seeing Tweety Bird flying around his head.
Yeah, my man done, dog. Stay out, dog. Listen.
He got fired.
First of all, he should be fired.
He got fired.
He gotta be.
He ain't go to jail though. And put on the no-fly list like they should have.
Oh, gotta be, dog. Gotta be.
I wonder is my man going on a no-fly list?
Who?
He might get the man that retaliated and put homeboy on his
pause
ass.
on him?
Yeah.
No, if anything happened
They
in
do
this
us
Bama,
dirty. He already got charged with simple assault.
Why?
Because he black. What you think?
Boy ain't no way, boy. Boy ain't no way, boy. Boy ain't no way, boy. Boy ain't no way, boy.
Dog, to me, I'm definitely going to
I'm
court.
suing the airline and the airport.
I'm suing the airline
and the police department because it's video everywhere.
Yeah. First of all, whatever was happening was escalating because he smacked him. What has to transpire for Obama had a gumption to try to smack you, Ern?
He got to feel like you soft, like it's going to be no consequences. So just because I fight better than this man, I got to be the one charged with simple assault.
Yeah.
And then I could have really finished him.
I could have really. It's one thing if you when he came back, because real talk, if you got a good lawyer, He could have defended you. You could have finished him, and you still would have been defended by your lawyer because he took after he got slumped. He came back aggressively towards him. So I don't know what he gonna do. Pull out a knife, a weapon,
I don't know
or
what
something.
drugs he was
I don't
on,
know
Your
what I
Honor.
don't know what he was on. So I said I had to end it. I had to end it.
I'd have loved to
I had
have
to
that.
turn. I had to turn the oven off on this man. Make sure it was over. Yeah, dog. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy that he facing charges or whatever. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Yesterday I had a video saying it's time for Bradley Beal to be traded, Aaron. I ran off a whole bunch of things, reasons why the teams in the draft they need to be trying to consult with to get this man off the roster. I don't trust Tommy and the regime and none of them to make it happen, but I don't trust them to keep Bradley Beal here. So we between a rock and a hard spot. Ain't no easy options out of here. And the only thing that I could see that they could do to make the situation right is to trade back Bradley Beal and try to go after a top 5 pick. Preferably, I think just the most viable option is the Sacramento Kings because they got Sabonis. They got what's my other man name? I can't think of his name. The guard. Yeah, Fox and Sabonis. And I know they got a new coach. They trying to get another third piece to make some noise in the West. And I think you could get a good deal out of them. Anybody else, I think they're going to fleece you. I think Sacramento, you probably could get a fair deal. You could get their fourth pick this year and potentially another pick next year from them, a couple with some pieces like Harrison Barnes and some to make the salaries work, whatever. But the Wizards have to do something. This draft here, this draft has players, right? I think the top 5 players are solid, excluding Chet Holmgren. He's some trash to me. I'm going to keep saying it. But, like, there's players in this draft. And I think if you could get the 4th pick and then have the 10th, you get two young pieces, the 4th being somebody you can come in and hopefully they can come and get moved in right away. And then in the 10th, you could probably get another viable piece, right? Because ultimately, this is what I do know, Aaron. They not winning the championship with the team they got right now. They're going to give Bradley Beal all this money to what? Be back at square one. Now, I'm not saying it's going to fix all the problems or the holes in the boat, but right now, the Wizards need to embrace a rebuild, a true rebuild, dog. Do you agree or disagree?
I'm not jumping on this segment with you, though. I'm not joining the DC loser fan ball. I'm not doing it. Like, unless Bama's come with a logical explanation. Like, you say they not winning a championship. Was you born before 78? Did you ever see the Wizards win a championship? Is that the standard? Are you the Lakers? Are you Boston? Like, no, I'm not doing it with these DC fans. It was Arenas, then it was John Wall, now it's Bradley Beal. Like, until Bama's address the real reasons that the teams in this area are sorry, like, I'm not going to join that bandwagon of blaming every nigga that's getting paid in time.
I'm not blaming him for getting paid, Aaron. He is a
What
solid
does it help
basketball
to
player.
move him? What does it help? How does your team get better?
Because he's going to move anyway. At some point, he's not going to be on this team. And if you don't trade him now, or when you can viably get something back that has some value, you're not going to get anything for him.
This window was last year. You don't wait till the Bama it's the expiring season, and then you're forced to trade him, and other teams know you're desperate, so you got to trade him by that trade deadline. If you was going to do that, if that was the move, that move was last offseason, not this offseason.
I think last offseason, there just wasn't anything there that really made that make sense.
So what is there now? What's there now?
I just think that this draft is a good draft, dog. I think it has players that where you won't necessarily get back Bradley Beal, but you potentially add a piece to your team that will help your team stay afloat.
They got tons of pieces that they've been drafting over the past few years, and none of it busts a grape. They're trying to put together the international, whatever the UN team or whatever it is. Bama's from all across the globe, everything but a black nigga from the Americas, and it doesn't. No, like you keep. It's like asking a Bama that you know can't do a job to keep doing the job, and you gonna ask him to try again with the only piece you actually have, the only thing that's gonna put fans in the seats. Like
What is the other alternative, Aaron? We keep it with Bradley Beal and just
Bradley Beal is
win
not the issue with
46
the Wizards.
games?
They have losers picking players and creating a culture and coaching the team. They do everything scared. Sam Cassell should have been the head coach of this team 2 hiring sessions ago. Like they keep doing this nepotism, like this hiring these friendly guys as friends of the organization is BS and it's loser. Management is losers. Like you drafting the Jew from Denny Avia and you drafting the Japanese kid from over there. Like this is all about marketing. This has nothing to do with basketball. Nothing to do with basketball. They keep drafting these guys that can't bust a grape. First round picks. Bama got emotional issues and he can't even play for 80% of the season because Bama's just saying on social media stuff that's hurting his feelings. It's just, dog, these are the people that they're choosing. And you expect the same regime to choose somebody better this time?
I
If it's not
don't.
Jabari Smith, it got to be like when they took Bradley Beal, they had the 3rd overall pick and the other 2 guys that they possibly could have took were gone. When they had the number 1 overall pick with John Wall, he was the consensus number 1. They got to be in that spot where it's nothing else. Like they can't mess it up. Like
So
if it's not
that's the
Jabari
thing.
Smith,
So that's the thing. I think at 4 they have a chance to not mess it up.
how? Who they gonna take? Give me a name that's gonna be there.
Now, if they mess it up, I'm gonna be sick. Because Chet Holmgren could potentially be there at 4, and knowing these Bamas, they would definitely pick him.
See,
So
when it
that's the
comes to
worst
Chet
case
Holmgren,
scenario.
I'm not like in the same place that most people are on Chet Holmgren. Like I know all the niggas think he's sorry trash, but I'm looking at it from a Giannis standpoint. Like I think that, of course, the whiteness helps. So that's obvious. Like they want the white Bama that they can stick out there to draw the fans and pretend like he's gonna be a guru. But I'm looking at him through their eyes, and they're saying like when Giannis came, he was too skinny, he was puny, he was weak, he was sorry. And nobody saw Giannis turning into this. Yo, you talking about Giannis now? We're not talking about Giannis when he got drafted, Harold. That's what I'm
No,
talking about. Like
no. Giannis, yeah, but still though, Aaron.
coming out in the draft. Not
But
now, not what you know now.
But the Giannis, where is he from though?
Greece.
Yeah, but he African. His parents, like, dog, it's a different breed.
His brothers is sorry, dog. Like he
His
got 3
brothers are
brothers in the league
sorry,
and they
though.
trash.
They
So
are
I'm just
trash.
saying, like, with the frame that he has, I'm saying they're saying like
But Giannis was not as skinny toothpick as Chet
go look it
Holmgren.
up, Harold. I'm telling you, go look it up.
No way, dog. I'm
Go
about to
look it
watch
up.
I'm about to watch the Disney movie, dog. They
Like
about to
you're
have on the
jaded
Bama.
by Giannis now. I'm talking about when Giannis came out, like the Bama was frail. It was like nobody saw this coming, including me. Including the Milwaukee Bucks couldn't have seen this coming. Like, and so I'm not saying he's gonna be Giannis, but I'm saying they're viewing him through that lens where they
Okay.
feel like he has this frame, this like 7-foot frame. Like he has some athleticism, not quite Giannis's, but if they can work on his body, I don't know what his mentality is. But if you playing him against other top prospects or other vets and saying he getting cooked, but he's not quitting, like he still has that mentality where he's staying in it, where I could see that being a reason where, because it's not a lot of guys that's going to change your franchise, you're willing to take a flyer on this guy and see if not next year, not 2 years, but maybe 4 or 5 years down the line, you might have something. Like,
If you got to wait that long, you don't have nothing.
Milwaukee had to wait that long.
They waited 3 years.
No.
Yeah, 3 years for Giannis.
Let's pull it up. So he got drafted in 2013-14. He averaged 6 points his first year, or 6.8, 12.7, 16.9, dog. He didn't get to the 20s till his 4th year. And even then, he ain't win a chip until what, 21? What was that, 2021? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. His 8th year.
He came in 13-14,
right.
77 games. Bama he played 24 minutes. Yeah, he wasn't doing work. 6, 8, 12, and 16. And then the 16, 17 season, that's when he was in. But that's what I'm saying. His numbers, 22, 8, and 6.
That wasn't
22,
his
8, and 5.
That 16 and 9. Yeah.
Yeah, but still 16-7-4. Like,
And still
yeah.
22. Like if we saw
Yeah, he was 22. Yeah.
what's the Asian kid we got?
How old is Chet Holmgren?
That's what's important. Let me see.
Yeah. Because that
If he
Bama
21, it's a
21.
fail. He 20.
Dog,
He just
he
turned 20 this
20?
month, last week.
May. Oh, yeah. Earlier this month. Yeah. He turned 20. So by the time the next season start, he'd be 21. All right. We'll see what his numbers looking like, dog.
He could give you 7 points
I
if he
hope
start
so.
right. Because if you would have
So
got
so
that out of
look, so
Giannis, you would have
so
been
so
like
so,
bust.
so we got yeah. So but also this is another thing with Giannis too. The hype wasn't the same as it is with Chet Holmgren.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Like nobody knew Giannis. Like there was talks about him, but he wasn't the first overall pick or second or third.
But you know his whiteness is going to mitigate hype. Like when you black and got that kind of hype, it's like immediate. You got to perform now. The Bama, they're gonna make every excuse in the book for this Bama to at least get 3-4 years to at least get an idea of what he's gonna be in the league. And he could be a
Okay.
complete bust. I'm not saying he's not, but I'm saying the lens that they have to be viewing this Bama with has to be the Giannis lens, where you're taking the frame, the athleticism, and maybe you have conversations with his coaches and stuff like that, and you know something about his mentality behind the scenes that everybody
Mhm.
else isn't seeing. Because Bama's is trash, and this Bama's garbage. How is he even
Dog, that's what
being
I'm saying.
mentioned?
Dog, Giannis was picked first round, pick 15. Dog, it's nowhere close.
Right, but you need that Giannis like precedence for Bama's to even be able to say, "Oh, we can. This is what we can
But
get if
but
we
but
pay."
but it's a difference though too. I think the difference is that Giannis was really extremely athletic at his height,
You
right
don't
there.
think Chet's athletic?
I think he's a little I think he's a little sticky to me. Like I think so. So this is a difference. Giannis couldn't shoot really like that. So that's one thing that hurt him tremendously because they were like, dog, this kid can't really shoot. But his wingspan and his height and his athleticism, you could see that the Bama was just really super athletic. To me, Chet Holmgren's just super, he's just tall and lanky. And like, I don't see him as being super athletic. Like, if you took Giannis and you made Giannis 6'6" and he wasn't 6'11", the Bama would still be dunking and doing a lot of the stuff that he does. Chet Holmgren at 6'6" couldn't bust a grape. This Bama, like I'm just saying, if you take away the greatest thing that makes him desirable, you wouldn't be looking at him. You'd be like, dog, this Bama is some trash. Like, why you bring him to the rec and pick him up on our team? Like, he'd just be a regular dude. So I don't, and
But that
again,
translates to most of the NBA, dog. It's a lot of
okay.
Bama. Like, you know how many tall, sorry Bamas is in the league because other people don't grow that tall.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I say he like Bo. Like Bo, Bama's is talking about him like, oh no, this Bama can shoot, dog. He can dribble, he can do all this stuff. Dog, the Bama's barely maintaining his spot on the roster. Now, it is different because Chet Holmgren will get every opportunity and chance
Every
to be
opportunity.
on the team because we already know protection for the complexion for the selection. We already know that's in play. But like to me, his skill set and Bo, them Bama's the same Bama's. Tall, lanky, skinny, shoot outside, do
Right,
other
but they
stuff.
draft Bol with the hopes that he becomes a Giannis. Like every time you draft, you're not going to hit. Like this is a
That's
fact.
true.
It's a very low percentage of Bamas that hit to be, let alone good. I'm talking about superstar, NBA championship caliber
Yeah,
players. That's how they viewing him coming out when they want to make him a prospect and take him.
agreed.
But you can't know when you draft a Bama. It's like LeBron, you knew.
You
Like
knew.
Carmelo, you knew. It's certain Bamas that you
No,
just knew.
hey, listen. Hey, Aaron, I'm telling you, in this draft,
Jabari Smith, though. I don't want
listen,
nobody else but Jabari
it's
Smith.
three.
You can keep the
Jabari
Mexican Bama.
Smith, Banchero,
No.
and Ivy, dog. I'm telling
I like
you,
Ivy. I like Ivy, but I don't love Ivy.
Aaron, Banchero, dog. He got it, dog.
Mentality, though. I don't like his brain, though.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right.
It's a lot of them tall, talented Bamas in the league that end up being just a guy in the NBA. Jabari Smith, I think he's a dude that could be the dude in this draft class. I'm taking him number one overall if I got the number one pick. And I like Ivy too. But just size wise, like it's so many guards, the skill is just
Yeah.
It's so hard to tell, dog. It's
It's
a million
hard,
of them
dog.
in the
Six
league.
four. That's and
Yeah.
you don't know how that is. They might be sicing the 6'4". It just it's tough. Ah man. Okay.
Who you taking with the number one pick if you got the pick? You taking Ban? I think you taking Banchero. You've
Nah,
been hybrid. I think you taking.
I'm taking Ivy. I'm
Oh,
taking
number one.
yeah. Cause to me he's just like what's my man play with the in the league now with Memphis.
Oh, you talking about no
Hold on.
Rick Man? What's Rick? Ja.
Ja. He's like Ja in a lot of ways, though.
His athleticism ain't nowhere near that.
But
He's a better shooter though.
The dude has it factor, dog. Plus, both his parents were professional athletes.
Is he a
So
point guard or a two guard? I think that's what's gonna make the difference in the league.
So he's a scoring one. So think Allen Iverson, but like not as dynamic.
So one, it's half the coaches in the league you have to get him away from because they want their point guard to stay with. See, it's so many factors that go into this.
But I think the league has changed, dog. And if you draft somebody number one, you kind of are invested in them shining and doing well, especially if they show the capability to do so. I mean, we saw with Memphis and John Morant, like he came in and a team, they were desperate. They needed him to be John Morant, right? So they gave him opportunities to do that. I just feel like, it's a lot of pressure on the GMs to make sure that the guys that they draft can do it. I like Jaden Ivey, but I'm saying the most upside in this draft is Banchero, in my opinion, because he's 6'10" and he can shoot the rock like a two guard. And he can handle the rock like a two guard. And he got size. And the Bama's, he's not little. He's league ready right now. On an NBA workout program, dog, he's going to be a problem. He could be in the Jason. You think Jason Tatum is a problem? He's bigger than Jason Tatum and has the same skill set.
You think he got the handles and fluidity and movement like that?
So I'm gonna say this. Jason Tatum, when he first came in, remember we was talking 2 seasons ago, you was like, dog, Jason Tatum's good, but he's not like. Now Jason Tatum's like, oh, that Bama's a problem. I think when you talk about like the gap, so when players come from the college ranks to the NBA, right? It's a little bit of a gap. And depending on who the player is, that gap is smaller, right? And those things that make the gap small. So it could be height that makes it small, like body size, different things like that, athleticism, whatever, that can make that jump smaller, right? That gap smaller. Banchero, his gap is very small because he has size, he has ability and skill to do a lot of different things. Now, will he refine
I'm not arguing any of that part. I'm asking about the mentality. Does he have the mindset?
So again, that's one of them jumps where I don't know. I can't answer that. I'm just looking at him from a pure basketball standpoint, right? Does he have the physical tools that translate to the next level where he could be successful?
100%.
Yes, right? Now, when you're talking about superstar and all-star, right? Like, that's all mental. That's all mental, dog. The attitude and how people approach the game, that's what makes all-star superstar, in my opinion. Like Bamzu had the physical tools and they had a mentality to go with it, dog. The Jimmy Butlers and people like that, right? I don't know what Banchero's mentality is, but I can say this. In the tournament, it looked like they was going to lose some games. And he was like, give me the rock. And he didn't do that all the time, but he did it enough to where I was like, this Bama, he got a little bit in him, dog, where he was hitting some clutch buckets. But again, that's why we here talking, because it's all speculation until we see it play out. But if I got the first pick, right, I think Jabari Smith is probably
6'10", shooting 42% from the three. He don't take conservative shots. He letting it fly and shooting 42%.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably, to me, I did on the analysis, I said he has a Kevin Garnett type of like playing style
with better movement. Like he's more, his body moves better than he's
he
a
shoots
more
the tray
fluid
better.
6'10" than KD. Fact.
Yeah. So I like, if you could get, I mean, yeah, number one, I'm doing that. But what I need to happen is for the Sacramento Kings to give up that 4th pick, and then somebody to botch that 3rd pick or one of those 3. Because I think those 3 players, when we look back 10 years, we're gonna say these are the 3 players that actually panned out and did work. Like they were good, they were solid, and maybe 1 or 2 of them may get into that superstar status. But at least we'll say that they had good careers, though. Something I can't say about a lot of the Wizards draft picks over the years.
Now, if the Wizards end up making a move and end up with Jabari Smith, I wouldn't fight that. Like I'd be like, okay, let me see what's gonna happen here.
Mhm.
But the rest of this foolishness, just trying to get a guy or to get a draft pick because it sounds good in a broadcast. Like they love it on the radio to be like, oh, we got moved up in the draft. We got a draft
Mhm.
pick this. But when you translate those draft picks into actual bodies and players and look at it, it
It's
don't
not
make
been good.
sense. It never
It's
makes
not.
sense. So like instead of just thinking in theory, I feel like a lot of times Bama's got to like do the critical thinking and put people in those places. Like, okay, you want to move up to what spot? You want to move up to 6 to
Mhm.
7? Is that good for you? You want to move up to 7? Okay, who's going to be there at 7? And then you look at Bradley Beal versus this player, and it sounds like dumb. It just sounds like stupid.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Other NBA news. 2-2, we tied, Ern.
I'm tired of this. No, it's a blowout every night, one way or the other.
We done. Who
Every
gonna
night
win
it's a
this, Joe? Who
blowout.
gonna take it, Ern? It's anybody's game, though. Whoever get this game
I'm
3, I
still
feel
going
like
with
gonna have a
Miami.
leg up.
But the disparity in talent that Boston has versus Miami is ridiculous. This shouldn't even be a series, though. This should not be a series. Like just the level of talent and depth that Boston has versus what Miami has when these jokers, though, if Jimmy Butler doesn't play A+++ basketball,
It's
they don't have a shot
crazy.
in the world.
It's crazy,
They don't
dog.
have a shot in the world. They can't create their own shots. It's
Dog, what
bad.
happened to Bam, dog? Why is he playing like
That length from them and activity from them centers is like usually when he plays other centers, he by far is the most like he has guard like movement. He can bring the
Mhm,
ball up. You know what I mean? He
mhm,
like you kind of get a lot of those same things. He can play extended from the basket, even though he doesn't shoot
mhm.
well. Out of uh
Horford?
Horford, like Horford can do a lot of those same things, like being an undersized big
Mhm.
that Bam can do. And then the other kid is athletic as hell, the one with the injured knee,
Williams?
Williams. So it's just like I feel like that combination of players, and they're both bigger than him size wise. So it's like it's kind of a daunting task because he go from
Mhm.
averaging like what 20 points damn near a
The
game to
6?
like 6.
Yeah, that jump was tough, dog. I think the Celtics might get the next one, dog. I feel like it's been a momentum shift. I mean, playing this game without Marcus Smart, who's been like, their emotional leader, to get a W without him, I
And
felt
Miami didn't
said
have
something.
Hero either, who they
That's
need
true.
for offense. Like they
That's
had don't
true.
have the scores on the team to sustain having that kind of an absence.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's been playing off too. Like he hasn't been shooting well in the entire playoffs.
Hmm.
So if they were to get I mean, I don't know that you can kind of expect that now coming off an injury, but if they could get a big game out of him, I think that would bode well for Miami. But
Hmm.
I'm tired of the blowouts. I like to see at least one close game, regardless of which way it go.
Might not happen until the finals, where we gonna have look like Golden State about to walk into it, bro.
No
What's
more
up
go,
with Luca?
no more go talk,
No more
no
go
more
talk,
go
dog.
talk.
I thought Stern's orders was gonna get these Bama's at least a chance. It looked like it's over.
But the orders can overtake the actual talent in basketball. Like you got to play the games on the floor.
It's looking like it's not even gonna be close, dog. The Mavericks got a lead, and then you turn around. The other night they had a lead, and
Game
you were
two,
like, we was talking blowout status, and
yeah.
then all of a sudden we look back, these Bama's is down 10. I'm like, the offense of Golden State, it just nothing rivals it, dog. Nothing rivals it. They can turn 20 points on you in 3 minutes.
And when you playing a team that scores the three so easily, like Golden State does, you have to play technically sound. Like you're not going to out three ball the
No,
Warriors, and it seems like that's what Dallas
they
has been
trying to
trying to
do.
do. Like you might get them a game, and outshoot them, but you're not going to outshoot them for a 7-game series. It's just not possible. You got to be more technically sound. You got to play better defense, and they're terrible at both of those things. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dog.
This
Then
one looks like it's
Andrew
over
Wiggins got a body the other night.
Then snaps it outside to Wiggins. Goes by
That boy showing
They
up.
they call offensive foul, dog.
He did?
Yes. That's not an offensive foul, bro. You got yammed on. Don't jump. What is you jumping for? Look at the
Then snaps it outside to Wiggins. Goes by drops the sledgehammer.
Oh, Luka was flopping out here, acting like that's the reason he got bammed on.
he said, dog, don't jump.
Don't jump.
Dog, Andrew Wiggins he's Harrison Barnes 3.0, dog. This Bama came to the I didn't think it was gonna work out with him, dog. When that Bama just showed me he know how to do it. He just play his role, dog. Bama quiet. He just get buckets quietly. He shoot when he open. He don't do too much. He strap up on D. This Bama just play his role. I didn't think it would be like that. But I guess that's what happens when you're on a championship team. And winning over everything, bro. Winning over everything. Anything else, man? Forget anything today? Follow us at OSS980 at or Other Side of Sports. Share, subscribe to the channel. Please share the content. Shout out to Where's Buffy. Shout out to Lance J Radio. Shout out to my man Shamrock. Shout out to Jenna Garcia. Shout out to Sports Talk Tasha. Everybody who rock with us heavy. And we out.